Hey there YouTube, CJ's here with another Cleric tutorial video. This is patch 2.3. I'm doing an Inquisitor based PvP spec for you PvP goons out there. I'm going to apologize in advance for my video quality. It is poor, but should still be readable. We'll work with this. So we're going to go spec, macros, all that good stuff, and do a couple little scenarios to kind of show you how to be effective. So, for the spec, like I said, I apologize, it might be a little blurry, but I will help you through this. It's a 61 Inquisitor, 9 Defiler for a heal and some damage done, and you get a little bit of healing from that damage. 9 Justicar, purely for Doctrine of Bliss, and some endurance, and just a little bit of healing from doing damage to somebody. So go ahead and pause it and get this. Okay, assuming that you've paused this and already gotten the spec, I'm going to close that out. We're going to do macros. There are 4 macros, but I'm not going to show you one because it's pretty much pointless. This, if you've watched the PvE version of this Inquisitor build, it's pretty similar, but, well, this build is similar to the PvE one, but a couple points thrown around a little bit and a little easier. Another thing I forgot to add is, according to the new 2.3, free-to-play will not be able to use Defiler unless you purchase this. This is optional. It's just healing, really, so you could probably use a Sentinel or probably a Catalyst. But now that that's said, we'll go into the macros. Don't worry, I, like every video, post these in the description, so all you have to do is control or copy this macro that you want in the description, Control-C as in cat, and go into game and Control-V as in Victor, and there you go, just save it and drag it onto your bar and have some fun. So, our first macro is our PvP CD. This has Nysyr's Rebuke for a large burst of damage, Sanction Heretic to kind of give them a dot to work with, and Doctrine of Bliss. This is very helpful, it heals you. Luckily, the thing that I found out is a lot of Inquisitor is life and death, so a lot of your spells are going to, well, Conquest, will give you Doctrine of Bliss, or Convections to use to get the heal. So, then you have your PvP spam, fairly easy. It's got Sanction Heretic, Bolt of Retribution, Aggressive Renewal, Bolt of Judgment. I will post this in the description, but you're not going to really be standing still because it's PvP, so we've thrown a little twist in there with the Bolt of Judgment. So our third one that we're going to be focusing on is your Bolt of Depravity proc one, which is just Fanaticism to make sure it crits that player. Then again, it doesn't crit all the time because it depends on their PvP gear. If they're running around in Conquest at PvE gear, your chances of critting them are pretty high. If they're full rank 80 gear, it will be pretty low chance. Okay, so for buffs, this is very important. The order I read them and show you them, you need to put them on in, because in PvP, when somebody purges you, aka cleanse, it will remove buffs in the order that you put them on. So you want, in that case, your least important ones in the front, and most important ones, the last ones to put on. Yes, this spec does have quite a bit of buffs, but it's not as bad as the Shaman. So you have Spiritual Protection, which is some resistance, Perseverance, which is an immunity. You might wonder why this is in the front, but I will show you. Rage Blight, so when they're doing damage to you, like in PvP, you're going to be doing a multiplier of damage to them. Shroud of Agony, which just, when they hit you, you have basically 1/5 of a chance to do some damage back to them. Armor of Awakening, very important, is this 10% damage. Now, this is your most important buff, Spiritual Scrutiny. If this gets cleansed off, you're probably already dead by the time that happens. So, this basically allows you to move around and do damage to them. So, that is why it's super important. Now, for sort of a rundown, since PvP is kind of situational, not really a rotation, but I've argued with multiple clerics on how to do a rotation, but the best, most effective way I found is opening with Nysyr just to get some damage on them. But make sure you have Scourge and Vex will come out of the Inquisitor tree on them at all times too. But so basically, yeah, you have your PvP spam, Nysyr's Rebuke, some of that, and I think probably the coolest spell, because it's what makes the Inquisitor so dirty and mean, is you have something Judicial Prevalence, where you get a speed bonus, and every time they do damage to you, you get 10% of your health back, and it's basically for 50% of your health. So it's pretty mean. So basically, I'm just going to show you in this target dummy here. Oh, forgot my buffs. You want to make sure all your buffs are on. We'll do this real quick. So now that we have the buffs on, you're going to, put the dots on them real quick. They're going to notice you're there. You're going to do Nysyr to them, hit that again, then you're bolted to depravity. Now, this is where if they're not doing a ton of damage to you, so you're probably at like 80%, between 70 and 80% by now, of health-wise, you can, the key is to get like close, but try to keep moving through their body. Therefore, like let's say it's a melee warrior or a rogue, they can't hit you because you're behind them. So then they're gonna like turn around and you're gonna move to the other side. That's very important. And while you're doing this, make sure that you got your like PvP spam macro or however, and you just keep moving around. Just keep moving around them and hitting that macro button, and then bolt to depravity. Make sure your dots are up on them. Now, let's say we're back to this situation where you've done Nysyr's Rebuke and you've put your dots on him, and this guy, charges you and he smashes you for like half your health. What you're gonna do is you're gonna do Judicial Prevalence, and you're gonna keep doing damage to him. And once he drains you back to about 80%, you're gonna use a health potion. Okay. So that'll bring you back up to about 100. He's going to pull you back down pretty quickly, assuming that he's doing that. So make sure all 5 of those stacks have fallen off from the Judicial Prevalence. So you've gotten already your 50% back. Then you're going to reset your cooldowns, basically, with this Radical Equivalence. And there you go. You're going to do your Bolt of Depravity. Now you see Judicial Prevalence has been reset. You're going to make sure you redo that. Reapply your dots, and then do another Nysyr Rebuke, and finish him off with the Bolt of Depravity proc. And by then, I've pretty much killed whatever I was attacking. If not, you just keep doing your little dance around them, and inside this Nysyr Rebuke macro, you see the 3 convections I got up here. If you hit that, it will use them up and will give you healing. As you can see down here, it's for about 3k. Cut that in half for PvP, so about 1500 heals. And this is in PvE gear. I don't even have my PvP gear on. So, it's pretty mean spec, I believe. It's fun to play because you can pretty much trash somebody without PvP gear, and you live pretty long. Basically, yeah, when your cooldowns are down or when you're most vulnerable, so make sure you kind of space them out. If you are clowning somebody, don't just like blow both of your CDs on Nysyr Rebuke, because then you're kind of left dead in the water when somebody that actually comes up. This is my PvP arena on my dimension every Wednesday, 5 PM shard, which is the same on all shards now. We do a little PvP here for some brackets and a little bit of platinum money. So, thanks for watching, guys. That's about it for the PvP portion of an Inquisitor. I'll show you a Shaman one eventually when I get it fine-tuned. But if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and post them in the question or comment box below in YouTube. And if you want to get back to me sooner, you can /tell, do CJS at Shatterbone, which is my shard. And then click space, and it will allow you to type to me. You just say, hi, I need help, or whatever. Or, if I'm not online, go under Shatterbone and send me in-game mail, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I've been on about every day now. It used to be about every other day, but I get back to people pretty quickly. So if you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead and follow that procedure. And thanks for watching.